all, it's Zoo, and welcome back. Welcome to the ZBA official channel. I'm here with two of my fellow admins, Duck and Yoram. Say hi.
Hi.
All right, no hi from them. All right. All right, yeah.
I was waiting for Duck to go first.
And yeah, we're gonna look at the singles, the single camps PR, and we're gonna see at how we're gonna rank them. The list will not be in any order, but you'll see our final rankings at the end. So if I'm missing anything, we're gonna go into the requirements of these teams. Let's always remember that there's gonna be one tier 1, one tier 2, two tier 3s, one tier 4, one tier 5, or two tier 5s, 4 free mons, and 1 mega. They have 400. They got 400 points that they used to spend on getting mons. For their free mons, and they got points from the specific mega. So if they got a mega Beedrill, they got 60, and if they got like a mega Mawile, they didn't gain any points. So yeah, we're gonna hop right into our PR, to the PRs, and what we think is, and like we're gonna briefly go through the team, see their strong points and their weak points. So we're gonna start us off with the Arizona Swallows, coached by Live Grade, also known as Spyroar. His team consists of Dracovish, Excadrill, Hippowdon, Blissey, Bronzong, Rotom Heat, Slurpuff, Dredagon, Gigalith, Spiritomb, Gogoat, and Mega Absol. So Doug, give us some of the strong points right now.
Obvious is one of his biggest strong points is his weather control. He has two strong sensing mons in Hippowdon and Gigalith, combined with two strong uses of the Sandstone with Excadrill and Dracovish being able to use the ability Tenseless, combined with the Rotom Heat Gogoat to cover some of their weaknesses. With Blissey being a really good special defensive wall.
And he also has like good control with, like, he has like a lot of mons that can get rocks up, and because I think he's like, of course, like Hippowdon and Gigalith both get it, but if you want to, Excadrill gets it, Dredagon gets it, Bronzong gets it, I think Blissey even gets rocks.
Yep.
So like he do have his rocks up, and of course he has Slurpuff for sticky web.
And I'll also add that he also has a lot of. He has a good defogger in Rotom Heat, and he also has some good rapid spinners. One of the best ones being Excadrill, as once it gets a +1 speed boost, once it gets its speed boosted up by 1, it basically becomes a big force to be reckoned with. Especially if it got up a sword stance prior to that. Yeah. So yeah, his team is mostly sand.
Yeah, it's sand.
Yeah, and
so his weakness
is basically other weathers. Or more specifically, a rain team can easily flush him out.
And of course, with the rain team, you have Dracovish to counteract the rain team, because Dracovish, of course, is also good in the rain.
Yes.
So that's that. But then it's just Dracovish, because like your other mons, like maybe Gogoat can do something against you.
And maybe Bronzong is a very good mon for rain.
Yeah, that's.
But it's just those three.
Yeah.
But we have to look at how amazing his offense and defense actually is. He has a lot of big defensive, special defensive, but also physical defensive moves with Hippowdon and Blissey. It's both can stall out almost most Pokemons, combined with Rongsong and how is its name? And Kekadif. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's one mon that we haven't addressed yet. That's just Mega. So Mega Absol. I mean, it can do stuff. Mega bounce when you Mega, so he can bounce other things back.
Yeah, like
But I do
Roxy.
feel like yeah, rocks and webs and stuff like that. I do feel like it is kind of awkward on his team because, like, of course, Mega Absol does not really do anything in the sand team, so that might not be the best fit for a team. But I think overall his team, it has like very glaring weaknesses, but it's still really hard to deal with because of this double sand setters and like a lot of mons that are good in sand.
Yeah, but I also think he picked the exit rail because of the extra points. Let me really quickly.
Yeah, probably, but we should probably. But I still think it's a decent team, but I do feel like Mega Absol. I feel like there probably were better
Yeah,
Megas
I agree with that 100%.
for his team.
And I will say this: Go-Goat is not the best grass type, but I like. One of the big things that I enjoy about Draft League is just using mons that aren't used a lot. And I feel like if he does a good prediction with like a Sap Sipper Go-Goat, then I think
that could work great.
Yeah, he could easily bring in. If he is able to bring in Go-Go during a grass type attack, I feel like Go-Go could win him a game. So I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see how Go-Go does really, since it is an it's one of his more interesting mons that he's got.
Yeah, Go-Go can be fun.
But we shouldn't forget about Spirit Bomb either. A great defensive mon with only a fairy type weakness with Will-O-Wisp. What do he has more? Will-O-Wisp, Shadow Sneak, Calm Mind.
Taunt.
So
basically just it's basically
they good support. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but with that we should probably move on to the second team.
Yes, we should. All right, so next up we have the Breaking Zolts that's being coached by Not Shady Kid. His team is Mew, Salamence, Arcanine, Mimikyu, Alolan Muck, Swampert, Cincino, Eldegoss, Hariyama, Metang, Rotom Frost, and Mega Tyranitar. Yoram, let's hear what you got to say about it.
So here we got the other Sandmon. Well, he doesn't really have a sand team. He has a great supportive set with, like, he has Intimidate on Arcanine, Intimidate on Salamence, and then Mew for whatever you want to do with him. So I feel like his team is very strong. He has a lot of different options on what he can go, and I mean, Swampert is normally not that good in like sand because, like, of course you want like Swift Swim and Rain, but I still feel like Swampert is a great mon nonetheless. Yeah. The only thing is a bit of a downside is that he has like a great like water and fire type, and then Eldegoss is kind of a letdown in grass. Then, but I still think his team is pretty good.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, Eldegoss is one of the more weirder picks. I will say that. It doesn't really fit his team that well. I mean, maybe for a removal of what's it called, of hazards, maybe. But besides that, I just don't see him using Eldegoss that much. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, it's like the same other things with his scores. Is his like Steel Dragon Fairy core is like he has of course he has Mimikyu, so Mimikyu's, I feel like Mimikyu's pretty great. It can be very defensive,
if it can set
also
up,
go
then
aggressive. But then he has Metang as a steel type, so that it's like the same thing. Like for his scores, he has like 2 great mons and then 1 mon that isn't bad, but definitely isn't great either.
But I will say, Eviolite Metang can be very useful in certain situations.
I wanted to say some things, but I forgot to put my mic on. But I wanted to say that Swampert doesn't get a Swift Swim. Let's use.
Oh, that's only the Mega.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's only the Mega. And the Eldakos is a great grass type move with all his powders. It gets Stun Powder, and I think it's...
Yeah, it does, but it is if you compare it with like Swampert and Arcanine, it is not on the same level. That's all I was trying to say.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but that's something that you also always have. But it's a great mon on its own. Like it has Regenerator. It has multiple powder moves with
Sleep powder.
Potion Powder, Sleep Powder. It's got Cotton Cards. It's got Leaf Storm. So it's really good for his price and the role that he probably wants all the costs to play.
Yeah, okay, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yep. So yeah.
And
Yeah.
Tyranitar is also always good. Metang is a good, cheap steel type option. The only thing that I see is that I think that he is going to have some problems with water types. Even though he has Eldercross and Rotom Frost, he doesn't have really much
else.
answers against bulky water types like Toxapex and like Swampert, but he has Swampert himself with Quagsire.
Yeah. Mostly it's just Toxapex that he has to worry about most.
Yeah.
Or any bulky.
I mean, any like bulky or like stally water type, like stuff like Slowking and Slowbro will probably not be that great against. It will probably be really good against this team as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
But overall, like any
is-
physical mon is like really scary because like you have double Intimidator, you can just cycle through. You have like Mew for like any hazard.
And you can easily set up with Mew.
Yeah.
And Mew is
this team is also really physical. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of his mons prefer to be physical.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Okay.
That's just using a Will-O-Wisp, and half of his team is most time.
It screws him over, really.
Yeah, but at the same time, Swampert and Metang can also use some special moves. Same goes for Salamence and
Mew in Arcanine.
But if he just prefer to be physical.
Mm-hmm. No, you never know with Mew. You never know with Mew. Use the wild card. So yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I think we should go on to the next one.
Yeah.
So next up we have the Charlotte Beedrills, coached by Darkness. Their team is Corviknight, Latios, Haxorus, Toxapex, Galvantula, Yanmega, Galarian Corsola, Double, Floatzel, Minun, Torterra, and Mega Charizard Y. Now, I'm going to try my best to break down this team. Immediately we see a very good Fire Water Grass core. Torterra is a really underrated grass type, and surprisingly, Floatzel is also a very good water type. It's got a very good ability. It's very fast, and it can easily set up. Toxapex, as we said before, very bulky, can cause a lot of troubles, and even then, like even after that, we look at his team. He has a decent. Well, he doesn't even have a dragon steel fairy core. In fact, he only has 2 dragons and a steel type. Very good option in webs with Galvantula. Can also Double is an interesting mon. Minun is there for the memes, and then Yanmega is there for the speed boost. If it can try to pull off a speed boost sweep, then it can. Then of course Galarian Corsola, a very bulky mon, especially with the Eviolite, can do a lot of shenanigans with a Will-O-Wisp set. And yeah, one of the downsides is of course not having that fairy type, as it can help deal with other dragon types. They have Corviknight, but at the end of the day, that just isn't enough, since most dragon types have at least a fire type move or an electric type move. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah. I really want to add that he has a huge disadvantage. My English is bad. But a huge disadvantage against electric types with Corviknight, with Charizard, And yeah, he can switch his Doterra off his or his Minor Ink, but do you really want to do this all the time? He also really he has a lot of the same typings on his team. Two electric types,
Two dragon
two
types.
water types,
Two bug.
three flying types, two dragon types. I feel like he needs to watch out with his weaknesses. Ice is a huge weakness. A move called Freeze Dry will deal a lot of damage against this team.
Yeah, both
Uh,
Toxapex and Floatzel.
Floatzel,
Yeah, but I would really like to see. Let's see. Would
A good fairy type would will help their team out a lot, really.
Yeah, I would really like to see him use Minor
What he
against
should
Slimy.
probably do
Yes.
is change Minun, because he only got it to annoy Slimy, I think. I wanted to trade it for something, but I think Slimy said no. Because he didn't want to give up like a core mon of his team. So he should probably just change it, but then he'll lose his leverage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, I think either way, it's a pretty good, and his team is decent. But like then again, every team can use some changes, but it's a pretty good team nonetheless. Next up, we have the Detroit Durants, coached by Kylie. The team is Blacephalon, Kartana, Cresselia, Landorus, Incarnate form, Drapion, Indeedee female, Diancie, Tauros, Articuno, Golduck, Rotom Fan, and Mega Altaria. Now, y'all cool if I go again, just to try to go through?
Wait, what?
Wait, what's
But I'll just I'll go and explain it real quick, if that's all right.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I'm just
Yeah, my bad. Again, a very interesting thing, as they only have a fire and a water type, no grass type. Wait, no, they do. Never mind. Kartana. Whoops. But they also have a very good Dragon Fairy Steel Core, and again, Kartana, Diancie, and Mega Altaria. They have access to Toxic Spikes with Drapion, Stealth Rocks with Diancie. Cresselia is just Cresselia being a bulky little son of a gun. This Landorus is non-sheer force, but it's still a force to be reckoned with. Golduck can negate weathers. Rotom Fan, a very good defog mon, can also hit hard, can also hit pretty hard. Articuno, very good ice type attacker. And overall, it's just a very good attack of a team that's made to attack.
Yeah.
Their biggest weakness.
Yeah,
What's up?
that's also the biggest weakness, because it's mostly an offensive team. Like, for example, Blacephalon and Kartana are both
Frail.
Kartana has high defense, but like especially defense of 31 is very frail.
Yeah, it basically where Kylie's team falls is again that nearly what's it called, that nearly well, is the lack of defense is what I'm trying to say. They don't have a defense really.
I mean,
yeah, it says Cresselia, but
that's literally
female.
it. And if you decide to run a Cotton Guard Altaria.
Yeah, that's true. But I really the same thing for him again. He also has a lot of the same weaknesses again with
Yeah, a big skill weakness.
Defensive Pokemon being dark, and with multiple Pokemon being weak to steel is a huge thing.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of teams have a good steel mon, so Kylie's team is gonna have a bit of trouble trying to break through those steel types.
Yeah, at the same time he has Precipodome and Landorus, but
even then they could bring
a
dark type to deal with them.
Yeah, exactly. So he is going to have a hard time dealing with some monks.
Yeah. So yeah.
So, but besides that,
Not
It's
bad.
a decent team. It's funny to see how he's going to use it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how he's going to use this team. And obviously, he can make changes as well. And at the end of the day, every team is getting their own way. So yeah. Next team we have the Florida Fallings, coached by Thief. His team is Dragapult, Jirachi, Mamoswine, Alomomola, Porygon 2, Talonflame, Morpeko, Passimian, Alolan Persian, Alcremie, Ariados, and Mega Venusaur. Now, right off the bat, wait, actually, Yorm, you take it away this time.
My turn. Well, right after that, this I feel like this is a really good team. I feel it has a lot of different things that it can go. You got webs and toxic spikes on Ariados, which I don't think you should bring every game, but as definitely is an option to bring. Then you got Stealth Rocks on both Mamo and Jirachi, which in my eyes are both really good ones, which will probably come most, if not every week, because I feel like they're just so great. Like Jirachi, of course, they can just you can just go bulky and just defensive, or you can just try and flinch everything in front of you. So that's good. Then you got Talonflame for with Gillwing support for eventual, like if you want to run like a Tailwind set, and then you got like a lot of other different good support ones, like stuff like Morpeko. I don't think you should bring it every time, but I still think it's a great mon. Same goes for Persian Alola. It's definitely underrated. Then Venusaur Mega is really good in my opinion. Like you don't really need to build a team around it. You just need like some support and safe switch-ins because like Venusaur, like of course he's scared of like he has Tick Fat, so he's less scared of ice types and fire types, but it's still good to have like something that can tank the hits for it. The only thing
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it doesn't really
I,
have that many like glaring weaknesses, like maybe flying, because the only thing that really resists is like Jirachi and Morpeko. And I don't think you'll bring Morpeko every time, but the only
hmm
people that are really weak to it is like Venusaur and stuff and Ariados.
I mean, even again,
I, I
even
yeah,
again.
cool.
Oh. Yeah. Even then, with all the flying type, even then with that big flying type weakness, a lot of mons do have the electric coverage, and some have rock coverage. Mamoswine has rock slide, and they can also learn like icicle crash and ice shard. Dragapult, Thunderbolt, Porygon 2, Thunderbolt, Persian Thunderbolt, and then of course we have Morpeko and Alola Momola. But even then, a lot of there's again a big a pretty big weakness in again that flying type. Duck, you want to
Yeah.
add anything?
Um, I just want to add that I really like his Dragon Fairy and Steel type core.
Oh yeah, it is
It's just
one of the best, I will say.
Like you have, of course, I
yeah,
mean, like Jirachi is Jirachi, Dragapult, and then Creamy.
Yep,
I think it's great.
yeah,
Like, is fire, water, grass? Does he even have?
it's
Yeah, I
interesting.
mean,
Alomomola, Talonflame, and
Talonflame,
Mega Venusaur.
Talonflame, I love Momola.
yeah,
I think I'm one of those really good. It's a regenerator mon, so it's just mostly like support. Like I think it gets like healing wish. It gets wish normally as well, so it's just like switch in wish and then switch out and then heal up a regenerator. So it's still, I think it's
yeah.
really fun.
The only thing that I really miss in this team is a better psychic type. Oh, I don't miss a psychic type. I am just stupid. But
Yeah,
I
this
do, yeah, I don't have anything to say about this team.
it's a very good team.
What you'd say it's just an amazing team. It's a lot of coverage, a lot of good offensive monks with who can use special and defensive, physical and special attacks. But at the same time, most of the monks can also function as a support or a defensive monk. So it has stealth, multiple stealth rocks, sticky web, toxic spikes. It says it all. It says it all.
Yeah, it's a great team.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I basically have nothing left to say, so I guess we should go on to the next one.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have Fusion Fishes, coached by Nougat Boy. His team is Urshifu Rapid Strike. No, that's Single Strike. Urshifu Single Strike.
Single strike.
Zapdos, Stack Attacka, Tangrowth, Seismitoad, Galarian Slowbro, Comfey, Licky Licky, Runarigus, Avalugg, Charjabug, and Mega Charizard X. Duck, take it away.
Alright, first of all, this team is heavily based on a Trick Room option with its Teka, Galarian, Slowbro, Comfey, Avalugg, Runerikus, and to be honest, I don't really like the combination of Pokemons in this team. It has a Water, Grass, and Fire type core. It has a Steel, Fairy, and Dragon type core, but we are not the best in combination of each other. In singles, Trick Room is in singles way worse than in doubles, since you have 5 turns of Trick Room with 1 setting up the Trick Room and 1 switching out your Pokemon. So you only have 3 turns left of 3 or 4 turns left. Depends on if your Trick Room will die at the moment or not.
I mean, that kind of does depend because, of course, Stack Attack can set his own Trick Room, but then it can only happen in a one where you can actually keep it in.
Yeah, and yeah, it's really hard.
I do think it's a good team, but it just doesn't really fit well with each other. I think that's kind of the point.
Yeah,
Because
this would be way better in like doubles if you use it in doubles than in
yeah,
singles.
but we're doing singles. We're not talking about doubles right now.
I know.
He does have like Stealth Rocks on both Toad, Runerigus, and Staka. He has Sticky Webs on Charjabug, which I don't think it will bring, and apparently Runerigus also learns Toxic Spikes, so that's in.
Yeah, I really think
Can be interesting.
his team is mostly a defensive, more of a defensive team meant to stall out.
Yeah.
That can be useful in some situations, but in other situations that cannot be good. Zapdos again really good, but at the end of the day, Trick Room is just not as good as singles as it would be in doubles. But at the same time, I feel like his team choices would be a little better, but at the same time, it's still a good team nonetheless. Very defensive, which is actually the first one we've seen where it's mostly defensive, I think.
Yeah,
Right?
that's definitely true.
Yeah.
So I do think like you have some mons that are not defensive, like stuff like Urshifu. It's just full offense, but like even Zapdos is fairly defensive, and then the rest of his mons. I mean, Comfey is just support, but is still fairly defensive. Then Charizard and Charjabug are the only other offensive mons. So I do think like his team is good and it can put in work, but it might lack some damage simply because you have so much bulk. So it's definitely a hard team to take down, but you also need to get kills to win the game.
Yes, this is true. So yeah. So next team will go with the Los Angeles Dodrios, coached by Dirty Dan. His team consists of Galarian Darmanitan, Volcarona, Bisharp, Dragalge, Klefki, that's meant to be Toxtricity, Aggron, Boltund, Armaldo, Masquerain, Litwick, and Mega Metacham. So, yeah, right off the bat, a good fire type. He doesn't have a water type, nor a grass type. Do y'all see one?
No, I do not.
And he
That
does.
is
And
quite
he
interesting.
yeah, and he does, but he does have a good fairy, dragon, steel core, Klefki, Bisharp, and Dragalge.
Yeah.
The Toxtricity.
This is a kind of team with a high amount of Pokemons with the same weaknesses.
Yeah. big ground weakness.
Yeah, I was gonna
Klefki.
say it's mostly ground. It's like the
Yeah.
only Pokemon that like Masquerain is it is immune, and the rest then you have Bisharp is weak to ground, Dragalge is weak to ground,
Yeah.
Klefki is weak, Boltund is weak, Litwick,
Our
and then you have
Aggron.
two Pokemons that are 4 times weak in
Yeah, and
Aggron
then
and
yeah,
Toxtricity
Toxtricity.
because the
Yeah.
Krookodile should be a Toxtricity.
Yeah. I wonder who didn't. I wonder who didn't fix that.
I'll blame Duck on this one.
Nah, we blame Jolt. When in doubt, blame Jolt.
Jolt, yeah, Jolt.
Yeah. You know
Why me?
what? Why me?
Yeah, and after like the ground weakness, he also has like a pretty hefty chunk of like water weakness
Yeah.
because the only one that resists water is I think Dragalge, and then you have weakness in Volcarona, Aggron, and Armaldo, and Litwick as
Yeah.
well.
Wait, did Jolt just join the chat? Wait.
Of course, he heard him. Yeah, say something. Go Jolt.
Hi, Jolt.
No. Oh, it's good that he didn't hear. We blamed you for not fixing the PR thing, but yeah, his team, it has good months, and I'm wondering how he'll use them because there's definitely some interesting months, but I do think his team can use some changes, especially fix the ground weakness because
That's
it's a lot. Like you have
yeah.
more Pokemon that can deal with it. For example, their Manatee does deal with ground types,
Like
but
half, you know.
most ground types have a rock move, and then their Manatee kind of gets destroyed by rock moves again. So
We legit like. I'm being honest. I'm gonna be honest.
The monster.
His team is legit. Like more than half of his team is weak to ground types. So
yeah.
and a lot of mons learn at least Earthquake or high horsepower. So someone brings that in, they it's basically GG's if unless someone brings in a good unless someone's able to counter it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But we shall not forget about how big of a monster Galarian the Mangatang is. Galarian the Mangatang, he has Gorilla Tactics with Choice Scarf or Choice Bands, but even with Zen mode, it's just a monster.
Yeah.
So even though he has a huge weakness against ground types, but the choice card from Clarion the Mangatang, and he will just walk over them.
Yeah.
But that's only when he gets to when he is able to get Clarion the Mangatang in. For the rest of his team, yeah, he's just too fragile to do anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well. Yeah. So yeah. All right. So I think. Yeah. I think it's. Yeah. There's a lot of ground type weaknesses again. Very few responses to those ground type weaknesses, and at the end of the day, he needs a lot of changes to make his team a lot better, to resist those ground types a lot better. So yeah, we're gonna move on.
I don't know if he does need a lot of changes.
He needs a few changes, a good change.
I think if he, I don't know out of my head how expensive a Milotic is, but I think if he changes his Ekran to Milotic, that's
that'll make his life a lot easier.
I think Milotic should probably be more expensive than Negron, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Anyways, on to the next person. So next up, we got the Machampions, coached by Bro for Life. His team is Garchomp, Necrozma, Infernape, Mandibuzz, Gardevoir, Nidoqueen, Lantern, Rotom-Mow, Steelix, Perugly, Sneasel, and Mega Gyarados. Right off the bat, very good Fire, Water, Grass core. Interesting, let's see. He has a very good Dragon Steel Fairy core. Necrozma, very good Mon. Mandibuzz, very bulky Mon. Nidoqueen is just very versatile. Perugly, surprisingly fast. Sneasel, very good. And Lantern is the one that sticks out, but even then, it's still good in its right place. A lot of defoggers, and he also has his fair share of hazards. He has a good chunk of setup too. A lot of Calm Minders, and a lot of And he has
He
2
has a
Dragon
lot of
Dancers.
priority.
Yeah, a lot of priority too.
Yeah, and then probably he has a lot of priority moves. Yeah, a lot of like he has Ice Shard and Sneasel. I think he has Fake Out on Perugly, Sneasel, Infernape, and of
Yeah.
course Infernape also gets Mach Punch as well. He probably has a couple of quick attacks, and then of course Sucker Punch.
Yes. I will say,
So
yeah.
I do feel this is a strong team. He has a lot of what do you call it? He has a lot of Pokemons with U-turn and Volt Switch,
A
so
lot
he
of
can
yeah.
keep momentum in the match.
He has a bit of a water weakness though.
Yeah, I mean a tiny bit, yeah.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
let's see.
but he
He
has
also has a bit
water
of an
option
ice
of
type weakness too,
mentally,
a bit.
so.
He has a bit of an
Ice
ice type
type?
weakness when you look at it. Garchomp, Nidoqueen, Rotom-Mow, and Mandibuzz are all weak to ice types, but even then, he has Steelix and Infernape to deal with them.
Yeah, I don't think it's really a weakness of him. It's more
Yeah.
something he should watch out for, but that's always when you have a Garchomp on your team. So
Yeah. I will say that another thing that he has a bit of a problem with is, of course, the fighting type. But again, he has both Necrozma and Gardevoir to deal with those fighting types.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
it's just it's a it's a good team, but I'm scared that he is not able to
pulled it off.
pull it off this team.
Yeah.
Like it's a great team, but I don't think he's uh, going to be able to use this team in full potential.
Yeah.
Nothing against Pro for Life because I think he is a good player, but this team just has such weird symmetry that I think that he's going to do good against certain teams, but I think most teams will just of will
Yeah.
just kill this team. If I look at this team and I want to battle against him, then I indeed am I going to put someone on my team with Ice Beam. And I know that I always know that I have to watch out for the lantern. But if you have Ice Beam and a good grass type on your team, then I think this team is going to be done for. But we will
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. All right. Next team. We have the Miami Mimikyus, coached by Donut, Conkeldurr, Urshifu, Rapid Strike, Grimmsnarl, Dracozolt, Incineroar, Indeedee Male, Zoroark, Ditto, Sandaconda, Shuckle, Dusclops, and Mega Beedrill. Now, Yoram, I'll give you the time. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, this team has the best mon in Shuckle.
You don't fuckle with Shuckle,
No.
just saying.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think his team. It has a little bit of everything. I think he has Beedrill Mega. I think is fairly underrated. I don't know how good Dusktops is in singles. I don't think it's that great, but he has a lot of support mounts. Like you have Dracozolt. He doesn't have like a sand, so he can't really use Sandbrush, but it still gets Fold Absorb and Hustle, which are still great abilities. Then he has Intimidate and Incineroar, and he has like I mean, I think Zoroark is like it's like sort of like a Ditto, but like fairly. Oh wait, he has both of them. Never mind, I'm gonna say this. So I think his team is very funny. He has Zoroark and Ditto, so he can just kind of switch around illusion stuff, and I think that's fairly interesting to
And
do.
I will add to what Yoram said. I'll correct him actually. Um, what's his name? Sandaconda gets Sanda spit, so if it gets hit, it will set
If
up
it
the
gets
sand.
hit, yeah. So he could go Sand Rush.
Yeah,
if
but
he
it's
wants
very
to.
situational.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah,
I
again,
really like this team. It's really it has some really interesting monks, but at the same time, he has so many of the same type of Pokemons.
yeah, that's the
Yes,
problem.
this
It's a problem we see with a lot of teams. They have the same type
yeah,
of mon.
he has and he has two completely completely defensive mons, and he has some completely offensive mons. Most times you can really good prep against this team. Like, actually, for rapid strike is going to be something to look out for. Crimson in combination with Grimmsnarl, Dracozolt. I think those are three Pokemons he always wants to bring. But he has the problem that he has and Grimmsnarl and Incineroar and Zoroark, and I don't know where he wants to put where he wants to use Dracozolt of his Zoroark for. Like he can use it to counter psychic types for the Conqueror and the Rapid Strike Urshifu, but besides that, it doesn't really fit in this team. It more looks like he's going to use a bit more a meme team, and he's going to just have fun with some new strategies than that he is actually going for the playoff right now.
Yeah. Yeah, again, a very good team. A lot of can easily a lot of mind games is what his team is basically based off of, mind games. And again, I think that Donut's team is a very scary team, if not if it is overlooked. So yeah, we'll move on to the next team. Next up, we have the Milwaukee Minans, coached by Slimy, Celesteela, Tapu Fini, Halucha, Donphan, Torkoal, Tyrantrum, Venusaur, Cofagrigus, Alolan Raichu, Type Null, Sunkern, and Houndoom. Now, Duck, let's hear it. Let's hear it, Duck.
I think this team is really good. He uses I'm a bit biased because he uses three of my favorite mons,
Which
but
are
Torkoal, Donphan, and Halucha.
well, I'm also biased if I'm being honest. Tyrantrum is on there, and you know how much I love Tyrantrum.
Yeah, but besides that, it's just an amazing team. He got an amazing water, fire, and crash core, where he is also able to use the Drauf in his adventures with Fingerstart. He has a Trick Room option, which we talked about earlier. That is not often something you want to use, but it's there. He has Celesteela as a really good steel type user with Tapu Fini as a fairy type. He has a great lead in Donphan with Stealth Rocks and Rapid Spin. But he is also able to use Unburden on Halucha with Misty Seed, using Houndoom with Solar Power. But the biggest problem with this team is going to be the turns. Going to be against people who are able to stall him out. Like he has Trick Room, he has Drauf, but sometimes he really needs his Sun and he needs his Terrain. He has a lot of those options, but he needs those options to function right.
Yeah. Honestly, again, very good team. If he loses the Sun, he basically doesn't have a good win con. And his win con is still there, but it's not as big as it is normally. Same thing with terrain.
I don't think it's. He also has Celesteela, of course.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah. So if he loses his Sun in rain, then he has Celesteela and Raichu. If he loses his Sun again to
but I will say,
then he has Tapu Fini and Tyrantrum. So
yeah, I do think like Sun is great for his team, especially for like Venus or Houndoom. Sunkern a little less, but he could still use it. But one mon that I'm wondering how he'll use it is mostly like Alolan Raichu, because
Yeah.
that's the only mon I see that doesn't fit that well on his
Yeah.
team. The rest of the teams, I think they fit great together. The only weakness he really has, but he still has, is like ice. But he still has a lot of mons that are good against ice, so it's not that bad.
Yeah. But when in doubt,
Especially,
yeah, when in doubt, always trust the Sunkern. I bet you he's gonna pull some wacky shit out.
He's gonna bring it at least 1 week, and then like he has some trades he set in mind.
Yeah, he's probably gonna do something with that Sunkern. And if I will say this, if Sunkern gets 1 kill, he automatically gets match of the week without a doubt. Just saying.
Mon of the week, match of the week, mon of the season, just
Mon
one
of the,
kill.
no, you give him all the awards. But yeah.
Yeah, all of it. Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's a very good team nonetheless. Again, Alolan Raichu is the only odd one out, really.
Yeah.
But everything else, beautiful,
Yeah,
perfect.
it's not completely like it's electric psychic type. He needs a electric type, and if you look at if you look at his team, then he's also weak against electric terrain. And Raichu can cover this weakness with electrics with
I mean,
surge.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So if he uses Raichu against electric terrain users like Tapu Koko, then he's able to counter this with or Thunderbolt, Psychic, or whatever he has in store for them. Let me really quick check if he has a poison type or a steel type move. He doesn't have a poison or steel type moves. Oh, he has Iron Tail, but besides
Yeah,
that,
you're probably not bringing that, but
no,
it's still pretty interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So, next next team really. Randomly unpleasant, who's coached by FTK. Their team is Zeraora, Gengar, Gliscor, Komodo, Primarina, Sarina, Umbreon, Ambipom, Delphox, Kecleon, Oricorio, and Mega Scizor. A lot of ons. Like Umbreon, Ambipom,
Kecleon, Ambipom. I mean,
let's just leave this one to Joran.
Yeah, Joran. Do it.
Why? Okay, well, okay. I think this is a great team. It has like so many different options of what you can go. You have like a lot of different leads. First of all, Mega Scizor. I mean, it's most likely every week gonna be a Swords Dance set, but it's super fast. Like it's only like real weakness is of course fire, but you have a lot of other options. You of course have Primarina that's great against fire. Fire can't really hurt Gliscor that well because you can just heal it up with Poison Heal. Then he has a Volt Absorb Mon in Zeraora, which is extremely fast. I mean, it's not that bulky, but it's still always good. So he has two really good electric immunities, which I mean he might not need because he doesn't. The only mon is really weak to electric is like Primarina and then Oricoro, which will probably not be brought every week. And then he has like good support in like Umbreon is great support. Serena stops of course priority attackers, and then I mean he has Como, which is a bit of it is a lot of different mons, but I think this seems like very well rounded. It might be a little bit on like the too offensive skill, but like stuff like Gliscor and Umbreon in there, like it's very good.
Yeah, combined with Primarina will also is great in defense, but don't underestimate the defenses of Mega Scizor. It looks like he is a really offensive monk, but if you put the right IVs on it, he has a really high defense with a steel bug type. It covers a lot of his typings, so yes, it looks like he is really offensive, but at the same time he is also really defensive. I forgot the name of his Pokemon. Let me really quick check.
But yeah, it's a very good team. I really think if I were to say their biggest weakness is that they are too offensive. They have no good defensive mons. Any good defense can easily stop them. So, like any stall mons,
I don't
it's very
think.
real. I will say it's very well rounded. It's very like evenly diverse with like attackers. We have physical attackers in Scizor and Mega Scizor, Ambipom, Kamo or Kamo and Zeraora, and then we have like good special attackers like Primarina, Delphox, and Gengar.
Yeah, but the problem with the most defensive mons is that most defensive mons rely on Toxic to do the work for them.
Yes.
But this doesn't work against the defensive Pokemon of the first team. Like he has Gliscor who heals from Toxic. He has Umbreon who has Synchronize. He has Gengar who can put Toxic Spikes away and isn't able to be Toxic. So I think, yes, defensive mons are good, maybe good against it, but he has so much offensive pressure, and he has two mons who are just so good in the defensive in that defensive areas. I don't think we are going to be able to use defensive mons against this team.
Next up, we have the RB Leipzig Zagoons, coached by Ryan Volcanion, Clefable, Aegislash, Silvally, Pangoro, Miltank, Nidoking, Leafeon, Electros, Mega Latios, or is that Latias?
Latios.
Latios.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
Latios, yeah.
Again, then Rhydon, and then Tornadus Therian. Now, right off the bat, they have an interesting Fire Water Grass core, in that being two Mons, Volcanion and Leafeon. They have a very good, if I might not say fantastic, Dragon Fairy Steel core. Electros is just always amazing. It's a well-rounded, like it's a very good Mon, well-rounded. Rhydon with the Eviolite, very good. Silvally, very powerful, can be ran any type if need be. Tornadus Therian, very bulky, very annoying. Miltank, we're not talking about Miltank. That's just it's a very good Mon. Clefable is very good as well. Very bulky, very good fairy type. And then Nidoking, of course, can do sheer force things. Definitely, I will. Water. If I were to, there could be a bit of a water weakness, but at the same time, we have Volcanion, which absorbs those hits. It's a very well-rounded team. The only mon I don't see fit in is that Pangoro.
Yeah, but I think it's just covers his last weaknesses.
Yeah, I get
He
you.
needed fighting type, and Pancoro covers this. No, I think his Savali is. I don't never like to play against Savali. It's such a diverse Pokemon. Same goes for Tornadus. Tornadus with the Regenerator is just so scary. He has his multiple Stealth Rock uses, and some Defog uses as well. He doesn't really have something to. Yeah, I don't know. His team is really good. I don't really have to say anything. I don't have anything bad about it, actually.
I think his team is very good overall. Of course, he has two. He has a Regenerator. He has very bulky mons. So I think his team. It really depends on how he uses it, because he has like a lot of immunities on his team, and he has a lot of different things he can do with the mons. But I do think what you have with this team, as long as I see it, is I would not know which mon he would take with him. every game, because I think there's a case to be made for every mon. So I think you have to really prep for like all the mons. So I do think this is like a very well-rounded team.
And it's just, it's not like, oh, I'm going to use this move or this thing against it. Like, it has amazing defense and amazing offense, just like his Aegis says. But you can see it's more defensively, but his offense with Lithium, Aegis Stress, and Volcano isn't bad either. Miltank being able to set up some curse,
Yeah,
Crevable
Curse.
being Crevable.
Yeah. Yeah, overall it's a good team. Just again, it's just there's nothing really wrong with it, but could be better, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next team. Should we? Yeah, next team.
Yeah. Next team.
All right, next team we have Rhode Island Rampardos, coached by Schmid. Melmetal, Rillaboom, Slowbro, Togekiss, Crocodile, Minior, Girder, Linoon, Smeargle, Dedenne, Dracloak, and Mega Sableye. This team is busted. I'm gonna say that right now.
We quickly have to say something about the Crocodile.
Yeah.
This is the second Crocodile that we have on the.
No, this is the actual team with Crocodile. We already told that
this
the other
is the
team
actual team with Crocodile.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, very. He doesn't have a Firewater Grass core, but he does have a Dragon Fairy Steel core. It's a pretty good one. Dracloak, Melmetal, and Togekiss. Linoon can easily Belly Drum and Sweep. Mega Sableye, one of the most defensive mons. Slowbro can also be very defensive. Girder is just, with the Eviolite, is very bulky. Smeargle is infamous. When I say, it's infamous that it can learn any move in the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's easily broken. It's probably gonna like run Spore or something. And then Dedenne can easily nuzzle and paralyze. When I see, looking at the team, the weaknesses are balanced out. There is no one big weakness really. Yeah.
No.
I
agree. Yes. He has a lot of amazing monks, but I don't know. It just feels like something is missing, but
it's a fire type. That's what he's missing, a good fire type.
Not really, because he has. Let me see. He has.
The only thing that can really learn a good fire type attack, the only mons that can learn a good fire type attack are Smeargle and Slowbro, and as well as Togekiss.
And Togekiss with Flamethrower. Crocodile learns Firefang, I think.
Yeah, but I don't see anyone running Firefang.
Yeah, but if it needed. So if it's needed, then he has the fire type move. So
yeah.
And he has the confidence that normally a fire type Pokemon will have. So
yeah. Alright, so yeah. I really have nothing else to say, really.
Yeah, I really like that Smeargle is able to use every move. And he has an amazing Pokemon with Girder who is able to use Default. Linoon can use Belly Drum.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
isn't Slowbro able to use Belly Drum either?
Yeah, next team. Next up, we have the Seattle Dragonites, coached by Down by 6, Landorus Therian, Magnezone, Raikou, Darmanitan, Ribombee, Shaman, Vaporeon, Hitmontop, Skuntank, Crustle, Regice, and Mega Latias.
No, this is actually Latios. I checked real quick. So
dang it. Alright, that's Mega Latios then.
Yeah. I think this team probably has one of the best Firewater Grass cores.
Oh yeah,
I
100%.
think it's
Darmanitan,
amazing.
Vaporeon, Shaman, beautiful. And it has a very good Dragon Steel Fairy Core, Rabombi, Magnezone, and Mega Latios.
Yes, like the only
And
real
the
typing
is
this is
also-
missing is like a actual good psychic type, but I think, of course, you have a double electric type, so that could be traded, but
No, he
it's
has
not
a
like
Psychic
it's
type.
neat.
He has a Psychic type.
Yeah. Wait,
Latios.
that's oh wait, yeah, Latios is psychic, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
The biggest problem against this team are ground types.
Ooh yeah, 100%.
And yes, the Magnetang is a good fire type, but he is slow. So with Choice Scarf he is a bit faster, but
I mean, 95 speed isn't that slow.
It's still
it's
still pretty good.
just it's good, but it's just a bit under what you want.
Yeah,
for
okay,
it.
but it's not like slow, you know.
No.
Like it's actually faster than Lander T, so I do think it's decently fast.
Yeah. Nano T is just amazing.
Yeah, it's only 91, yeah.
Intimidates, grounds and flying.
Well, of
Yeah,
course
he
he has
has he has some
Mechapool.
of the same weaknesses on some of the monks, but
Yeah. It's a pretty good team nonetheless. Yeah.
I think it has you do have different things. Like it might lack like some bulk because, for example, like Magnezone, yes, it's slightly bulky, but only in one of the two. And the only like for example, like of course, like Regice is like a special defensive wall, and
yeah.
but like I do think that he does like genetic bulk, for
Yeah.
example, like just
By the
just one
way,
bulk. But I do think it's a great team.
Yeah.
Like it has
by the way,
defog, it has
Magnusson runs iron defense and body press, so
yeah, but they don't feel it. He has 2 months with aromatherapy as well. He has heal bell, healing wish normally.
A lot of support, really.
Yeah, a lot of support. He has baton pass on like 3 months as well, so
Yeah.
can do some fun stuff with that.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
he has a lot of things to keep momentum because he, of course, he also has teleport, flip turn, I think U-turn and volt switch on like multiple months. So I think this is his. He can keep the momentum on his side for like a long time. So I think it's a great team.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Next team, we have the Shitty Weber. Shitty Weber's coached by Helix, Hydreigon, Terrakion, Rotom Wash, Superior, Crobat, Porygon Z, Magmortar, Mr. Rhyme, Palisand, Audino, Mega Mawile, and Scizor. Scyther. I'm half awake.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is a very good team, as in he has a decent, like, well, not a decent. He has a pretty good Dragon Steel Fairy core. He has a very good Fire Water Grass core. Terrakion is just very good. Mr. Rhyme can easily set up screens. Scyther, very good with the Eviolite. Audino, very bulky. Palisand, a good ground type to hit from the special side. Porygon Z, just very powerful, and then Crobat can hit hard from both sides, really.
And then he has 2 levitate mounts.
Two levitate mounts, yes, this is true.
And I mean, he has Mawile Mega, but of course with regular Mawile, you of course also have Intimidate because you don't have to immediately Mega.
This team
so
is
you
just
can still
overpowered.
use the Intimidate for return.
Yeah, this team is just
This
very
is
powerful.
Such a good team, yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Yep.
But
Only.
yeah. It's just is. His superior is amazing with Leaf Storm being able to raise his
Attack instead of lowering
Yeah,
it.
Conjure is very good.
Yeah. Terrakion being rock fighting type with rock slides and close combats. Rotom was is always a good Pokemon. Scyther and Crobat being able to set up Tailwind if he needs it, with both being able to use U-turn. Same problem with Trick Rooms, but Tailwind. Most Pokemon can more use better make use of Trick Room, Tailwind than Trick Room. Malwal is just a beast with huge power and it's used multiple with multiple moves like Iron Head, Player of, Krungs, Fire Sword Stance to boost his amazing attack even more. Bodycon C being able to use Hyper Beam, my talking is going great. Adaptability, and yes, I don't think someone really is going to be able to counter this team.
Yeah, this team is very good. It's very like every mon has an answer like to its weaknesses. Really.
Yeah, exactly. But also being able to set up Stealth Rock with multiple Pokemons, using Deep Rock with multiple Pokemons. Most of his mons can be either support, defensive, or offensive. Um,
But yeah, again, a very good team, and yeah, let's head to the final team. You okay with that? Final team.
Yeah.
All right.
Final team.
yes.
Last but not least, we have the Strong Sandslashers coached by Thinkboy, Blastoise, Alolan Sandslash, Alolan Golem, Mega Pinsir, Tapu Koko, Alolan Ninetales, Emboar, Arctozolt, Dottler, Rampardos, Crawdon, and Galarian Stunfisk. A lot of regional variants. Let me say that real quick.
Yeah.
A lot of redundant typings too.
Yeah, you have a lot of overlapping typings. You have triple ice types, you have double water types, you have double rock,
Double electric,
double electric, even
double
bug,
steel.
double steel as well. So, and that also shows in like his weaknesses. There's like so many mons weak to
rock,
weak to ground,
and
ground
yeah.
and rock, and
Ground,
even water.
steel.
It's like
Steel,
fighting
yeah.
as well. So I think that is like a big problem with this team. I think it has a lot of good mons because of course Alolan Ninetales is pretty good. It sets the hill for
Hail.
both Arctozolt and Sandslash.
To be fast.
Tapu Koko works pretty good with Arctozolt because it can set electric terrain for it. But the question is, do you really need two hill sweepers?
No.
Because like, of course, you have different options now. That's good, but I think he might be limiting himself too much by just being able to go one thing.
The biggest question is: are you able to sweep with those mons in singles?
Yeah,
in doubles it's a totally different story, but in singles you have to switch out a steel type of a ice type mon in another ice type mon. So you still have the same weaknesses. And when you have a Arctozolt or Sandslash, both Arctozolt is counted with a completely counted with a Steel type one, with Ninetales is weak against. So most people use a Steel type one against Ninetales. And Alola Sandslash is a good mon in the lower tiers, but it just doesn't do the job right.
Yeah.
It isn't.
Overall, this is just a team that's out of whack, really.
Yeah, it's also has Groudon. Groudon is a really good Pokemon with the right team, but he doesn't have any support options to.
No, not really.
Go nuts with Groudon. There's a lot of offense,
but no
amazing
defense.
attack, but his a low amount of defense, and he doesn't. He has a lot of mons that need a defensive core behind it.
Yes, and he also doesn't have any of the main cores. You know, Fairy Dragon Steel core, Fire Water Grass. Those aren't there. He has two of the three, but not that last one, being Grass and Dragon specifically.
But sometimes it's good, but
in this case
really
it's not.
Something.
In this case, it really isn't, since he again has so many overlapping typings that he could easily make space for let's say a dragon type or a grass type.
Yeah.
And the biggest problem with his team is it has amazing attackers, but most of his attackers are too slow to do something.
Yes.
And it needs a bit of setup. So
Mhm.
it goes for crowd downs, Blastoise, Senseless, Octozolt,
Yep.
Rampardos. It needs a bit of setup to do something. Mecha Pinsir is amazing, but even him, he still needs to activate its Mecha Stone before he can do anything.
Yeah.
So
Again, it's just a
he
team out of
really
whack.
needs to rely on Sub Coco right now. Maybe you can change something up with changing Octozolt and Senseless in maybe a Grass type Mon.
Yeah.
Or maybe change Blastoise or Crown Downs for something. Try to get a good defensive Steel type, and maybe a good defensive Grass type.
Mhm.
And
And then you're
then
set.
I think
You're a lot better.
and yeah, and I think something like right now I see that Ferroton isn't picked yet. It's a tier 2. If you
That's a
switch
steal right
around,
there. That's a steal. Just say it.
it's a scratch a steel type. It's an amazing mon. Maybe try to get something like Ferroton in your team. And
Yeah.
get some more defensive cores. It will really help your team.
Yeah.
Get some faster mons.
Yeah.
Yeah, your team has potential, but
You need to make it better.
yeah, just make 2 or 3 trades, and he's
And it's
able
automatically
to.
a lot better. Just yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's time to get the let's go to the PR rankings now. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So in first
Mm.
we have Randomly Unpleasant, followed by we'll do names actually. First we got Cat's team, then we got mine and Slimy's team, then Helix, followed by Shady, and then I think that down by 6. And after that it's Schmite, and then after him or them it is Thief, our lovely video helper. He's not on here right now, so he's a bad helper. Then we got Kylie. Then we got Kylie, and then Donut, and then what the heck happened there?
Ryan.
Wait. Oh yeah, Ryan. Wait, yeah, Ryan, and then Nougat, and then That's Meant to Be Darkness. Then Dirty Dan, then Bro for Life, followed by Spyroar, and ended it off with Think. I think these rankings are pretty good since again this is basically just based off of the team look, not based on talent or experience and sets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because everyone can do something else with the team, and maybe someone we rated low does something completely
Big.
unsurprising.
Yeah.
Just basically pure of that draft and what we think the teams
yeah,
do.
yeah. That's pretty much
And
it for.
even we disagreed. Even we disagreed while making this video, so
Yeah, yeah.
um,
It's all really up to the person that's looking at it.
game.
It's all up to the person that looking at it. Some could be different, some couldn't. But yeah, at the end of the day, this is our opinion. So that's gonna be it for the singles PR video. Doubles PR video will come up very soon. So stay tuned, stay excited, and always stay hyped. So, any final words from you two?
I'm gonna sleep now.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, same here. So until next
Yeah.
time, y'all stay hyped and remember, keep on battling.